What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mode video. So for the second video today, the second buff I wanted to discuss was actually something a little bit smaller. You know, I didn't want to have two groundbreaking buffs in a single day that I do discuss. So this time around, we are going to be talking about the newly buffed Bison. The Bison isn't a weapon that typically gets changed too much unless it's like absolutely necessary. And in a situation like this, given how the current state of the game is, a buff like this, I mean, it's still technically not much, but it's still something that could help it. And keep in mind, changes with the Bison are very rare. Like it almost never happens. Like the last time I saw a change for the Bison was probably like months ago when they changed the large caliber ammo. There were some 3-tap adjustments that they did with the weapon way back when, probably about a year and a half ago. But other than that, the Bison's probably one of the least touched weapons in this game. And really, there's never too much of a reason to buff it unless things become a little bit too outbalanced and it just requires something to at least have it keep up. And if we're being honest, a lot of the weapons that are very similar to the Bison, where they have high ammo capacities but like really decent range, you know, they're starting to kind of like outplay, or not outplay, outshadow this type of weapon now. So I think the Bison, at least out of all those large ammo capacity type of SMGs, is probably one of the last SMGs that needed to be adjusted. The PDW has already been, it's already in a good place right now. The CBR is now already in a good place because of the bullet spread buff for that one as well. You know, like anything that has a large mag and it's an SMG are at least at a decent place. So the bullet spread buff went from 2015 to 1810. So usually, again, I could never read these types of BSA profiles, but usually if it's like 20 or below, it's usually very, very accurate. However, for like an SMG, that's actually very, very good. There's only like a few of them out there that have like really good BSA. I think, actually, if anything, I think the Pharaoh is probably the one that has the best bullet spread accuracy from what when I last used it. I used it like maybe less than a month ago, and I saw that I think it was like at 11 or something. So that's pretty massive for an SMG, but you know, that's a different situation because it's a burst weapon. But for just a normal type of SMG to have this type of accuracy is actually pretty insane. A lot of LMGs and a lot of ARs don't even have this type of accuracy by default. You have to build them out to kind of have like a default of like 20 BSA. I think it was last season that the GKS also got like a BSA buff, making it a lot more accurate. So I mean, that's a win right there. And I mean, if we're being real, they did that because of the USS 9. And who knows, they probably buffed this one because of the USS 9 as well. So, I mean, it's something that just needed to happen. And I know I've had a lot of bias against the Bison, given my, you know, my Bison release time PTSD back like, I don't know, like in 2021. Yeah, yeah, I have a lot of PTSD. But like, at this point, I've kind of like softened up with the Bison. The only time I ever really get pissed off at people using it, well, not really people, is actually just bots. Like when I get lasered across the map, that's when it becomes an issue. But like when I have like when I'm going against other players that use it, it's like it's whatever now, because there are just way more options that are superior to that one. It's basically had its time, you know, probably a little bit longer than it probably deserved when it first came out, but yeah, I mean, it's had its time. It's there as a solid option for people that may not know how to control recoil. But, you know, sometimes I use it just for shits and giggles. Question is this going to be closer to meta? Fuck no, but at least it makes it better. There's still issues that plague it. You know, the lack of 4-shot, or like, sorry, the lack of like, actually, yeah, the lack of 4-shot and 3-shot range for it. I could say that's probably a decent complaint. There are times where like I feel like I'm like maybe 10 feet away and I'm like getting a 5-shot kill. Maybe that's just me, maybe it's just in my head, but I do have instances like that, and I'm just like, man, shouldn't this thing be a little bit stronger? But you know, it is what it is. But those 3 shots though are very, very rewarding when it does happen. Honestly, one of my biggest regrets with the Bison right now is the fact that I was never actually able to pick up that cool white and pink anime or collaboration type of PP19 Bison. I didn't even find out that it was a collab Bison until like last Friday. That version of the Bison came out like I think I was still in like midway through basic training, or at the very beginning of basic training when that came out. Our phone time was kind of like reduced down to like just, you know, like 30 minutes to an hour. So I didn't even bother to check what changed. I just saw it one time in a YouTube video. I'm just like, oh shit, I didn't know this thing came out. But I think in terms of like my own personal experience, if I've came across a lot of people using it, whether they be friend or foe, I actually have not seen a single person yet. But yeah, anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. This change is going to be here and here to stay for the most part until like maybe the USS 9 gets nerfed or this thing just goes a little bit too far. But yeah, anyways, guys, have a wonderful day. Let me know whether or not you're going to try this out. But yeah, have a good day, guys.